Bro, that's stupid. Why come over here and say anything to people that have a right to stand here unless the property management asks us to leave? That's all you need to tell him. If he said, can you ask him to leave? Are you married? Are you married? Are you married? Can I fuck your wives, please? Please? That's weird as fuck, right, dude? That's the same thing to me. I'm a grown man. I don't want to be asked to do anything unless I have to. You know what I'm saying? We can take it to that extreme or very simple. It is, but you see what I'm saying? It can be used in a lot of different scenarios.
Okay, do you have any weapons on you or anything like that?
No, I'm not armed.
Okay.
No, I don't even have a pocket knife.
Okay.
So you're not wanting to identify yourself?
No, ma'am.
So you don't want to ask if you live here in town? Or I'm just being cool. You know,
Nah, I know. I understand.
Okay.
You live here too? You guys live here?
I live in San Antonio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't live here.
Hey, I don't need your directives. I'm not committing a crime. Stay away from me. No. Don't walk towards me. Stay away from me. No. You don't get to pick where I stand in public, buddy. Get away from me.
I'm gonna search for weapons. I don't know.
Oh, get away from me, you coward. You coward. You ain't gonna search me for nothing, buddy.
Stopped for standing in public? No crime, just questions and pressure. Watch as one man calmly refuses to show ID, stands his ground, and schools the cops live on camera. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because knowing your rights is the only way to protect them.
Hello, sir. Officer Gonzalez.
How you doing?
What are you up to?
What am I up to?
Yes, sir. Got some calls that some people were concerned.
About?
You just standing out here. They didn't know your well-being or what was going on. You needed a ride or something.
No, I'm just walking up and down. I'm an investigative journalist out here on assignment.
Oh, okay.
I'm an investigative journalist out here on assignment.
Oh, okay. Do you have your ID on you by any chance? No?
No.
What's your name?
I want to keep my name private.
What's for? A report. You're not wanting to identify yourself? Is there a reason?
For my privacy.
I know, but I mean, we're the only ones that are gonna know.
How you doing, sir?
Nobody else is gonna know your name.
How you doing?
Officer Warren.
Todd.
Todd, are you just filming the...
Yeah, just doing some...
You live here in Pearsall, or?
I'm not going to answer those type of questions.
If you live here? Okay, do you have any weapons on you or anything like that?
No, I'm not armed.
Okay.
No, I don't even have a pocket knife.
Okay.
So you're not wanting to identify yourself?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So you don't want to ask if you live here in town? Or I'm just being cool. You know,
Nah, I know. I understand.
Okay.
You live here too? You guys live here?
I live in San Antonio.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't live here either. I mean,
You guys drive all the way down here for work?
Yeah.
Every single day?
A lot of guys do it here too. It's surprising. The sheriff's office, this place.
Where's the sheriff's office? Oh, you guys are PD, right?
PD
Sheriff's
right here.
office is way out there, like in the middle.
But I met nurses down here that drive down here for nursing jobs.
Well, I know nurses do. My job brings me down. My job brings me down on Laredo a lot.
Okay.
In the valley too, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm just out here. I'm a journalist. Investigative journalist out here on assignment.
Okay.
Like I told her. So.
It's a nice camera, 4K.
Yeah, I love
nice.
it, man. I got it for Christmas, man.
I got the Sony one with the one that had a projector on it. It's kind of nice.
Hey, my friend has one of those.
Good? Yeah. This.
Yeah, I had
what is
one
that?
of
Like a
those.
GoPro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
GoPro.
They work real good.
Yeah. Stabilization. Yeah. I had the one. I had the.
Yeah, this
black
one's
one.
got that. That's yours probably has. If yours has a projector, then you got the stabilization.
Yeah, stabilization. Yeah, it's a nice camera.
I love it, man.
Yeah.
I got it on eBay, man, because man, Best Buy they were like $900.
Yeah,
man.
I got mine open box. I always shop open box. Try to negotiate a deal.
Man, you guys are all right, man. Yeah. I do this all over the state.
Okay.
Yeah, I get put on assignment to do these kinds of things.
Okay.
So I have a lot of contact with law enforcement when I'm doing this type of thing, and man, I gotta say you guys have been cool. We call it a pass.
Yeah.
That's what we call it.
Okay.
You know. So I appreciate you guys, man.
All right.
Is it cool if we just get your name and your date of birth so we know who we're dealing with?
I'll give you my first name. It's Todd.
Todd what?
That's it.
You don't want to identify yourself at all?
No, ma'am.
95? 95?
Yeah, 95.
Failure to identify yourself?
I'm sorry?
You don't want to catch a charge, do you?
What charge is that?
Failure to identify?
Do you know what 3802 is?
Yes, sir.
What is 3802?
Your rights. Failure to identify yourself?
I'm sorry?
You don't want to catch a charge, do you?
What charge is that?
Failure to identify?
Do you know what 3802 is?
Yes, sir.
What is 3802?
Your rights.
I'm sorry?
Why don't you tell me what it is?
No, why don't you tell me what it is? Because
Yeah,
I know.
I have it right here. So. Right here.
This guy's going to look up 3002, guys. You guys are being live streamed, by the way.
That's fine.
There's probably about 120 people watching us right now.
That's fine.
That's cool. I mean, we understand what you're saying, but.
I mean, just to know who we're dealing with. No one else is going to know if you want to.
I'm not going to identify myself, okay? And if you need to look up 3802 before you decide to take any action against me. Because
What? Where do you
I work for a national organization. I'm out here on assignment. I'm an investigative journalist. I told you what I'm doing. I'm not armed.
I know,
Other
but
than
you
that-
know who we're dealing with.
Okay.
You have to identify everybody we come in contact
Okay,
with.
but that's your policy.
Okay, exactly.
Go ahead, MJ.
Why don't you say it?
Hey, just wanted to make sure you were all right.
Well, I guess you can see what's going on right now. Look on, get on my bamboozer. You'll see what's going on. No. All right. You should probably look up 3802, man.
Yeah, I know.
And you know what? This code 3802 is failure to identify in the state of Texas. And you guys ask for ID from just about everybody you come in contact with. So this is one code that you guys should be very familiar with.
I know exactly. You're not being victim. You're not being. We're not saying that you did any type of crime, so we really have no reason to ask you for identification.
Exactly. A reasonable, articulable suspicion.
I know what you're talking about. And somebody just got a complaint. They just want to check you out. You seem like you don't have any weapons on you. You have every right to be out here doing whatever you're doing.
Okay. Well, I'm glad we established that. And I appreciate the way you approach me, but she's being a little pushy. She's going to be educated right now.
Like I said, I'm kind of new, so.
How long you been a police officer?
Actually, since June.
Really?
I got my commission in June, and I've been here. I'm actually just got off FTO.
How long is the academy now?
Well, it depends. Mine was like
you went
12
to San
months.
Antonio?
San Antonio SAC, yeah. They have different. If you depend when you start. I think the shortest would be like 9 months. The longest like 12.
And do you get to choose where you want to work?
No,
you have to apply.
You have to apply. So you get commission, and you can apply anywhere.
Okay.
So I was working up north, and I wanted to go PD, so I came back down here.
You're working up north as law enforcement?
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, corrections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, corrections officer. So then I wanted to go to the street, so I took the test and got picked up here. So. You been out for a while? You need some water or anything?
Actually, I'm pretty thirsty, man.
I'm gonna get you a water.
But it's pretty dang warm today.
Yeah.
And this weather's been
It started
crazy.
cool this morning.
Yeah, it was a little windy too, right?
Yeah. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back.
Okay. Have you ever had to use your weapon yet?
No.
That's good, man.
No.
That's good.
Yeah.
Taser?
No, I try to use my words as much as I can.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
I could tell you're going to be a good officer,
Thanks, man. I
man.
appreciate it.
Hi, sir, just real quick. What did you say you're working for National what?
I'm sorry?
What did you say you're working for
I'm
National?
an investigative journalist, and I'm out here on assignment.
All right, sir. Well, I'll go ahead and let you be.
So did you get educated today on 3802?
No, I didn't look at that.
Called your supervisor?
Yeah, just to see, just to be on the safe side, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, I'll go ahead and let you be. Just
All right.
People
Well, y'all
were
be safe.
concerned for you.
Those are nice. How come you don't have body cam?
I have it right here.
Okay.
yeah, like I told you, some people were concerned. They didn't know if you needed a ride or so, you know.
I'm good.
But, all right.
Y'all have a good day. Y'all be
Bring a Coke
safe.
or something.
I appreciate it, bud.
All right, well, thank you.
Hey, I don't need your directives. I'm not committing a crime. Stay away from me.
No.
Don't walk towards me. Stay away from me.
No.
You don't get to pick where I stand in public, buddy. Get away from me.
I don't know that I'm going to search you for weapons. I don't know.
Oh, get away from me, you coward.
Just go down
You
there.
coward. You ain't gonna search me for nothing,
You
buddy.
can tape, but go down.
You don't tell me where to go, Strebeck. Get away from me. Go over there with your buddy. You see how he's smart enough not to say nothing to me? You see how he's smart enough not to say nothing to me? But you're dumb enough too, right?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Nicely just back
You don't
up.
have to ask me nothing. Back up, man.
No, I'm going to stand right here.
Good.
I can see you.
Stand right there. I mean no ill will or intent towards you. Go do your job.
Okay, I just asked you to step away.
I don't care what you asked. It's not a law, buddy. Is that a law? You're a law enforcement, aren't you? Thank you.
I don't know what you are doing or planning to do or not.
I'm standing here with the camera in my hand, genius.
Well, I can stand here just as you can stand there then.
Yeah, well, I didn't say you couldn't stand there. I didn't try to tell you to go somewhere like you did me, jackass. Yeah, I got freedom of speech too, by the way, buddy.
Yeah, I know you know, and it's you look at your disdain towards me because you can't stand it.
No, it's because
Yeah.
proper, that's all.
Proper would have been leave me alone when I walk up to you. That's what have been proper. That's why the public can't stand you scumbags. Always trying to tell people what lawfully they can and can't do.
I said you could tape, just scoot it down.
I don't need your permission, though. That's where you're wrong. Giving me permission to tape, I don't need it from you. The Constitution of this great place gives it to me.
So, hey, here's another law in Indiana. I'm not yelling at you. I'm asking you to quiet down. Stop screaming and yelling.
Bud, I can protest anywhere I want and be as loud as I want.
You're right, you can protest.
Exactly, exactly. So let's be quiet now, sir.
Okay, stop screaming and yelling.
Number 63. This is my normal voice, buddy.
Okay.
This is my normal voice. So this is Officer Strebeck, number 63. He's from Griffith.
Do not walk up
He's
on
a
us.
moron.
Do
Then
not
we
walk
got
up
number
on us.
9.
Giving you a legal lawful directive. Do not walk up on the officer.
We got number 63. This is his car. He's a canine douche. Got number 8. What's your name and badge number?
Okay, if they can just get somebody with a license.
I already know who you are. You don't need to identify yourself.
Just don't
I
walk
don't-
up on us. I'm not telling you again. Don't walk up on us.
Notice how this guy's not saying nothing to me?
He's on the radio.
He's
man.
not saying nothing to me, bro. But you keep on talking. I know you're not. I would never be a pig.
Okay, that's fine.
Never in my life.
You're very disrespectful. There's no good reason.
So are you by telling me what to do as soon as I walked up. You should have shut your mouth. You should have shut your mouth and you wouldn't have had this.
All right, man. Just keep walking.
I'm going to stand right here, buddy.
You don't walk up on us. I don't know anything about you. Don't.
You're a coward, dude. You shouldn't be a police officer if you're scared of people walking up on you.
Watch as officers try to give unlawful orders, but get shut down by civilians who know their rights. These clips show exactly what happens when power gets checked. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because standing up starts with knowing the law.
Can I get a business card from all of you guys? I think I got one from
Who's the supervisor or ranking officer here?
He's not on scene right now.
Okay, so this guy comes out here and asks us to leave the parking lot. I mean, he can ask us, but do you realize how that looks when you come and ask us something arbitrary that we don't have to do? Like,
You know that
it's
people
trying
are
to
sued.
enforce will. I mean, we're supposed to be the victims here, but why? 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 Why come out and even approach us if that dude doesn't have the authority?
Keep it separate, so there's no further issue.
Yeah, you want to leave. You're right. When you start pointing shit out, that's what happens right there. Because you're wrong. You shouldn't approach me. You shouldn't have said. He can, right? I can ask. Give me $5. Can I have $5? That's his shit. Can I have $5?
And I would say no.
No, exactly. But that's weird, dude. Why am I going to ask you for $5? If we're in McDonald's, do you tell the guy behind you, "Hey man, I'm a police officer. I need you to take 10 feet. You're obstructing right now." Bro, that's stupid. Why come over here and say anything to people that have a right to stand here unless the property management asks us to leave? That's all you need to tell him. If he said, "Can you ask him to leave?"
Can I answer your question?
Go ahead, yes.
Because obviously this guy doesn't want you. To avoid any further issue, we just ask you to, hey, man, can you just leave? You can totally say no. Be like, no, I'm not going to do that. Okay, cool.
I get it, but
And as long as you stay separated, it's not even a big
But
deal.
listen, you guys get a lot of calls when videos get put up on the internet, and it's because of little things like that. Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. That shit, people don't like. I'm a grown ass man, dude. I don't want you telling me what to do unless I'm breaking the law. You know what I mean? That's what people don't like. That is.
Did he tell you what to do? Did he ask you to leave?
You're wearing a uniform with a gun. I mean, that's automatically an intimidation factor right there. That's maybe not for me, but for other people.
Assume it's a directive. They have to listen to you. Most people, you assume most
Because there's so many
people
of you here.
think a cop tells you.
Well, we
you need
weren't-
to leave,
you
need to
guys were
leave.
here
So
first.
It's an intimidation. You're coming up with.
We saw you guys
with a
here.
gun and a
I don't think
badge
I've
saying-
been intimidating at all.
I'm not talking about you. I'm
Well,
saying
I'm just
doing
saying
that, coming out to ask.
I
that
want
would
this
be-
to be just taken care of, and like I said, I advise that you guys take care of it through court. Super simple.
Yeah.
And I just don't want any more.
I was hoping we could do it without court, man, because I hate dragging anybody.
I get it,
through the
but
system,
we're past that.
We'll let you guys go back to your day.
I'm just trying to give you some insight, man. That little stuff like that is what drives the videos, what drives more people to do this, it seems stupid. Like he can ask you, yes, but that little tiny thing pisses not. Bro, I have a 250,000 followers. It's not just me standing here. Do you understand? 10,000 followers, 130 something followers. Like, dude, there's hundreds of thousands of people. This is what perpetuates hate for the police. And you might not understand that little dude, he just asked you to leave, bro, but it's the concept of you're wearing a uniform. You look like military out here trying to tell us. It doesn't come off as he asked you. Even though he did technically ask, it does not come off like that. You know what I'm saying? Most people, if you ask them, if you were to come out and ask them to step off the property, they're going to be immediately intimidated and they're going to do exactly what you say. And you guys have become used to that. You know what I'm saying? So it just becomes second nature to just do that kind of thing, but you don't realize the adverse effect it has once this goes on the internet.
I think it's a lot of it's the approach and how you do it.
I mean, he was being nice about it. I'm not saying he's being rude,
like,
but...
Hey, I'm the big swinging, and I'm going to come over here and be like, get the fuck out of here. That's one thing. If I'm cool about it and be like, hey, bro.
Yeah, but...
I
feel like it's
hey, man, hey,
here's
stop. Here's an example. Are you married? Are you married? Are you married?
Yes.
Can I fuck your wives, please? Please? That's weird as fuck, right, dude? That's the same thing to me. I'm a grown man. I don't want to be asked to do anything unless I have to. You know what I'm saying? We can take it to that extreme or very simple. It is, but you see what I'm saying? It can be used in a lot of different scenarios. Out in public, if somebody asks you that, bro, you're not going to act like cops. Especially if you've had a little bit of drink at the bar or something. Somebody says something to you like that? You don't drink? Good. I don't either.
All right, guys.
Liver poison.
Watch how some officers act like the law doesn't apply to them, demanding ID without cause, ignoring basic rights, and doing whatever they want. But this time, they picked the wrong guy. He knows his rights, and he's not backing down. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because accountability starts with awareness.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Great, thank you.
So Juvenile Hall wanted to know why you're videotaping their building.
Just gathering content for a little story I'm working on.
Okay. Is it for like school or something?
I have a blog and such.
Okay. Do you have ID on you?
I prefer not to identify.
Okay, I'd like to see it. You're required by law to give me your ID.
Actually, unless I've been suspected of committing a crime, I'm not required to.
You're filming a government building.
From a public sidewalk.
Right, that's
which is
fine.
perfectly legal.
Right. I have the right to detain you, okay? And you're required to identify yourself.
Well,
You're not being charged with anything.
I understand that. I understand that, officer, but I do understand California law. Unless you have reasonable suspicion that I've actually committed a crime,
okay.
Filming a government building from a public sidewalk, which is protected by the First Amendment, is not a crime.
No, but I have the right to detain you to figure out what's going on, okay?
Okay.
You're addressed in all BDUs, you got a video camera, 2 video cameras, okay?
Okay.
And Juvenile Hall is concerned, okay? If no crime is committed, then no big deal, okay? But I do have the right to identify you. You are required to give me your ID.
No, I'm not. Unless you have reasonable suspicion that I've actually committed a crime, I'm not required to identify myself.
Yes,
no, I'm not.
Being detained.
Okay, officer, what am I being detained for?
For suspicion of why you're dressed and acting all weird in front of Juvenile Hall.
Well, suspicion is not a crime.
Right, it's not probable cause. It's reasonable suspicion to detain you to investigate what's going on.
Okay, and I just told you what's going on. Well, officer, at this point, I'd like to speak to a supervisor, so I would ask that you call a sergeant out here.
Absolutely.
How you doing, dude?
Hi, how you doing, sir?
Good. What's going on today?
Just gathering content for a little story.
For what?
Just gathering content, like B-roll, for a little story I'm doing.
Ooh, what's the story on?
It's just for a blog I write.
What's the blog about?
I'd rather not say it this time, because it's not published yet, so, just getting some B-roll.
Whatever.
Okay.
Okay, but you understand why we came out here?
I understand.
Okay. Do you think it's a little weird that you're out here filming Juvenile Hall?
Okay. Well, I've been on the public sidewalk the whole time.
No, that's
I
fine.
haven't gone on any restricted areas.
Wrong with that.
Okay.
But we just want to make sure that you're not coming out here trying to snoop around and do something. Because people tend to do reconnaissance, you know?
Yeah.
You want to talk to the sergeant, I take it?
Yeah, because like the other officer, you know, she asked for my ID. I respectfully declined because, you know, I know what my rights are. Unless there's reasonable suspicion that a crime has actually been committed, I'm not required to identify myself. So the other officer here is suggesting that she has the right to ID me. I'm saying no. So at this point, I think it would be best to have a supervisor come out and we can clarify all this.
That's fine.
Okay.
Whatever.
So just to clarify, I am being legally detained. I'm not free to leave.
As far as I know, you haven't done anything criminal. We just asked who you were.
Okay.
That's
Well, the other officer here said that I was being detained. So.
I think it's suspicious that you're out here filming a juvenile hall.
Okay.
Yeah, I was detaining you to find out who you are.
Oh, so I am being detained.
I am detaining you.
I'm not free to leave then. Okay. All right.
I'm not accusing you of any crime or anything. I'm just trying to figure out why you're out here.
Okay. And like I said, I understand that. You got a call for service. You have to come out and investigate. I explained to you what I was doing. But, you know, and you've even admitted that I'm not doing anything wrong. There's no crime being committed. Then I really don't understand why I'm being detained then.
Do you want to speak to our sergeant?
If I'm being detained, yes.
Sergeant Lara, Santa Maria Police Department. Today's date is 1/23/2017. The time is 16:13 hours. Are you getting that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. I want a stamp too, okay?
Okay.
How can we help you?
Nothing. I just, your officers made contact with me. I explained to them I'm gathering content for a little story I'm doing.
Alrighty.
And one of your officers, she wanted to see my ID. I told her I'd prefer not to. And
Actually, we do have the right to ask you for your ID because they call us here. It is a juvenile hall facility here, so we do have your authority. Okay, so if you're doing a story, yes, we do have that right, sir.
Okay, and I explained to your officer that unless I understand California law, I've been through this before.
Okay.
Unless you have reasonable suspicion that I've actually committed a crime.
Hear me out, okay?
Okay.
Listen to her.
So we have people that do reconnaissance on police, on our juvenile hall facilities, jail facilities, people that gather information, take video surveillance, try to identify us, identify our vehicles, and do all that kind of stuff for malicious purposes, okay? And I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing out here. You're saying that you're doing this for a blog or whatever. So we're detaining you to figure out whether or not you're doing this for malicious purposes or completely innocent purposes. And if it's for completely innocent purposes, that's totally fine. But we do have the right to identify you, okay? And if we ID you and everything's good to go, then you're fine.
And I have a right to decline because I know the law. I know my right. I'm not trying to be confrontational or anything. But unless you have reasonable suspicion that I've actually committed a crime, I'm not required
listen to the officer
to identify myself.
So the way a detention works, right? We don't have probable cause at this point. The reason we detain people is to investigate something to see whether or not a crime has been committed. So when we detain somebody, at that point, we do not know whether or not a crime has been committed or not yet. Okay, it's during the detention we do our investigation to identify that person and find out why they're there doing what they're doing. And if no crime has been committed, there's no probable cause, and that person is free to go. But during a detention, that's when we do our investigation. At that point, the person is required to identify themselves by law. No crime has been committed that I can tell at this point. You're right, that's correct.
Okay.
But we still have the right to detain you and to identify you, okay?
Okay, but what probable cause is there to suspect that I have committed a crime? I'm filming from a public
Sir, if there was
sidewalk.
probable cause, you would be in handcuffs already. Right. That's what she's trying to explain to you.
Okay.
But we do have, exactly, a detention just to investigate. And we didn't come out here on our own. They contacted us.
Yeah, you got a call for service. I understand that.
And if you know the law and everything, you know that part too, okay? And bottom line is, the officer's right, and we do have a job to do, obviously. Taxpayers pay us to do a job, and this is part of the job.
Okay.
Okay? So all she's asking for identification, know who we're talking to. She's not asking for too much.
Okay.
Okay?
And I'm respectfully declining.
Okay. Well, we do need an ID, sir.
Okay, well, I'm not going to provide identification. Like I said, I've been through this before. You know, I've been through similar situations.
This way we start our camera too, so that way, I mean, everything's recorded. Okay.
Okay.
Sir? So, and what was the call? All right, this is what's gonna happen.
Okay, sir.
Okay. We're gonna stand around till you take care of your business. Okay, and then whatever you need for your blog, do the filming here from here, and obviously that's private property over there.
Okay.
And then then leave when you're ready. Okay, but we're gonna stand around here to make sure that the facility is safe.
Okay, that's
because
perfectly
there are
fine.
kids in here, and that's our main concern here. Kids. Okay. So we don't know what you're doing here, and we don't feel comfortable just leaving you here. So we are gonna stick around, and then when you're ready when you're done, then you can leave.
Actually, I'm already ready.
Well, then we can get going then, okay?
Okay.
And everything will be documented. We're writing a report and everything, all the pictures and everything. So we have our own little information too, okay?
Okay.
All right, so whenever you're ready, you can get out of here or whatever you're going to do.
So I'm no longer being detained? I'm free to go?
You're free to go.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. Today's videos showed what happens when power meets resistance, and the law wins. No yelling, no backing down, just citizens who knew their rights and stood firm. Like, comment, share, and subscribe, because when you know the law, you don't get pushed around.